guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with my December TBR. I'm so excited. It's December, my favorite time of the year, and I have a lot of reading plans. I do have a whole week and a half off of school, but that's it. So it feels like a lot, but what I saw over Thanksgiving break when I'm with family, I don't read that much. I was at my parents' house from Wednesday to Saturday this last week, and I read 2 books in 4 days with no work. So I typically read way more than that when I'm off of school, but we'll see how much I get done this month. I have a lot of plans. The Tis the Season-a-thon is going to be taking place this first week, and I have a lot of just random books I want to read for it. I'm not going to go through all the categories, but I have a large stack of books if you saw my thumbnail, so I'm going to go ahead and get to what I want to read this month. The first book I started it last week, but then the used bookathon started, so I had to put it down, and that is Where Winter Finds You by J.R. Ward. This one definitely counts for the Tis the Season-a-thon, and it is not an official Black Dagger Brotherhood book. I feel like it's like 17.5 maybe. I have to look that up. But this is Trez's story, and Trez and Selena finally have a chance at a happily ever after, which we did not get with them in the Shadows. It's kind of a spoiler, but if you've been in the world of Black Dagger Brotherhood, you know that this is what this book's about. So I'm 50 pages in. I'm really enjoying it. I know Lacey from Book Lovers for Life read this and gave it 3 stars, but we'll see how I feel. I'm excited to be back in this world and read this book. Next 3 are all mass market Christmas romances, and the first one is A Cowboy Under the Mistletoe by Jessica Clare. This one is our main character. He's a former member of the Navy, and he doesn't really know what to do with his life, so he is going to go work on a ranch, even though he's never done that before. And our main character, I believe her family owns the ranch, and she's just kind of feeling like she's never going to be able to settle down and have someone to help her run the ranch with her, so she was going to leave, and then he shows up, and I think there's a romance. So it sounds super cute. Obviously it's going to take place at Christmas. Then I have Christmas Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses by Jenny Hale. This one actually came out as a Hallmark movie earlier this month, and I just watched it this past week with my family, and it was pretty cheesy, but I'm excited for the book because I feel like it'll flesh out the storyline more than what the movie did, so hopefully I'll enjoy this. Our main character is a single mom, and she's a decorator, and there's this very prestigious manor, I guess, in town that she is hired to decorate, and she kind of falls for the guy who owns that house, who's a businessman. So that's at least what the movie's about, so we'll see how I enjoy this one. Then I have The Trouble with Christmas by Amy Andrews. This was a romance that takes place between a woman and a guy, and they don't really know each other that well. She actually tells her parents she's dating her landlord and that he loves Christmas, so they need to stay home, but then they entice her to come to them, and she has to bring her boyfriend along, and he actually hates Christmas, and they're not actually dating, but I think it's a fake dating romance surrounded by Christmas, and I'm very excited for this. All 3 of these, well, all the first 4, were all sent to me by the publisher as well, but they've been sitting on my bookshelves, and I really need to read them, and they're all Christmassy, so I'm very excited to read them. Next is an art sent to me by Berkeley Romance, and that is From Alaska with Love by Allie James. This one it's got the winter on it because it's Alaska, but our main character actually is a Marine, I believe, and the 2 main characters have been writing letters to each other, and he kind of fell in love with a woman, but then he asks her to meet, and she says no, but then she shows up at his secluded Alaskan cabin, and I think they spend like 6 weeks together. Sounds adorable. It has a dog on the cover. It takes place in Alaska, and I just really want to read this, and I'm very excited for it. Then the next book I want to read is Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins. This is our Ravished by Romance book club pick for December. Our live show is, I think, on the 21st at 9 p.m. EST. It is that Saturday. I don't remember what date that is, but I'll leave all the information down below. But this one, I don't know anything about it. I do know the Rip Bodice, I think, is like producing it as a movie. The Rip Bodice is an independent bookstore in California, so I don't know anything about this. I just know it's Beverly Jenkins, who is very well respected in the romance community, so I have this book and I can't wait to read it this month. Then another book I was reading before Used Bookathon, so I'm halfway through it, is Beautifully Broken Spirit by Catherine Cowles. This one's about a girl who works with horses, and she kind of rehabilitates like wild horses, and she also has her own bakery, I think, or restaurant, and she kind of is in love with her brother's best friend, who is also a cop, and they are trying to figure out who's killing wild mustangs, and they're falling in love as well. So it's really cute so far, and I cannot wait to finish this. Then I have Seduction on a Snowy Night by these 3 authors, and they are all historical romance authors. This is a compilation of 3 historical romance Christmas novellas that Kensington sent my way, and they sent it to me like a month or 2 ago. This came out in September, TBR, but I was saving it for this time of the year and I want to read like maybe a story a day during the 'Tis the Season-a-thon, so I really am excited to get to this. Then I hope to read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Ideally, I hope to read the first 3 this month, but I really don't see that happening. These, I think you guys know what they are. They're shadow hunters. They hunt demons. It's Jason Clary and love triangle kind of happening. I really want to read the 6 in this series and then the 3 in the Dark Artifices series before the new book comes out in that new series. I've already read these first 3, but way back when they came out. It was 2009 when I was reading these, and I read them when City of Glass just released. Like, I went to Barnes & Noble with my friends, and we bought the book and then read it at my friend's house. So it's been a long time since I read these, so I want to reread them and then read the next ones so I can officially get caught up in the series, because I really enjoy the series and I want to get on that hype train with everybody else. The next book I want to read is something I talked about in my end of the year book tag, and that is The Hardest Fall by Ella Mays. This one is a, I think, college football romance. I think it's a friends to lovers romance. The back just talks about them having to be around each other a lot and him like really liking her quirks and everything. He's really good. He's gonna make it to the NFL, so I like Ella Mays and I'm trying to read all of her backlist titles, so I can't wait to read this one. The next one I really need to read because it comes out December 10th, and that is Regretting You by Colleen Hoover. I'm going to do a whole reading vlog of reading this, and this is about a mother-daughter relationship, and I believe there's a romance, and that's all I know. So I'm excited to read it. We'll see if I enjoy it. It is with Montlake, so she did switch publishers, and we'll see how I enjoy this one. The next one I've sent from the publisher, and that is Crown of Coral and Pearl by Mara Rutherford, and this one is a book that I haven't seen a lot of hype about, but it is a fantasy YA, and it is about these 2 girls who are twins, and whoever in their family I think is always betrothed to this one family, and they think it's going to be the one sister because the other one got really scarred on her face, but then the one sister gets hurt, so the scarred sister is set in her place, and I think there's a romance, and that's all I really know about this book, but I have been in the mood for a YA fantasy, and I want to read something that hasn't been hyped so I can go in with no expectations, and this sounds good, and I love that cover, so I'm excited to read this. And that is my December TBR. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.